Welcome, Alan and Tim. Thanks for joining. We've got a really good tutorial today. I'm excited to share this information. I put the itinerary in the chat just like normal. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, or we'll get to a general Q&A session at the end here. But we're going to go over a couple of the upcoming updates within our next release, and then we're going to go over the AI agency SaaS mind map. A lot of people have been asking about, how do I close my first client, or how do I scale past 5, 10, 20K MRR? This is the exact funnel that we are using. So I basically put it into a mind map that everybody can essentially duplicate and use for your own agency to close more clients, which would be cool. So to get started, we're going to go over some of the updates that will come out later today. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right. So we've got three main updates that we're going to be pushing, and these are all going to be related to the analytics of what you and your agency are able to do. So the first one will be found inside the agency profile section. There's going to be a new section here called account notifications. This is specifically for your agency. So this will be able to trigger and notify you whenever you have a new user that signs up. You'll be able to get notifications daily, weekly, and monthly for all of the information across your agency account, like your balances and how many clients you have and all that. And then, of course, when you get new subscribers and subscriptions, you can get those notifications to be sent out manually. So you no longer have to use any sort of third party or Zapier with your automations or whatever. You can now take a webhook URL and put that directly into your CRM, or you can send notifications to yourself. So this is going to be at the agency level, and there will also be a version of this for sub accounts. So obviously the sub account will only have access to what is in its specific sub account. So this essentially is only three things: the number of conversations, the number of messages, and what the wallet balance is for this sub account. So this will allow not only you as the agency to stay updated on specific clients, but if your clients also want to get notified on what is going on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, this can now be enabled and can be shown to your clients. So this will be something that we continually improve on. So if you guys have any suggestions or ideas about how to improve this, please let us know, and we'll get that added. Those are the first two main things. And then the third and final major update for this one is going to be the addition of an advanced website scraper. So sometimes when you're scraping a website, it might not be able to scrape that website for whatever reason. There might be some sort of blocker. It might be a JavaScript rendered page. It might have images or text as images, stuff that the typical scraper is unable to get. So we added an integration that will now allow to scrape any and all of those types of web pages and information as needed. This is an additional paid service. Right now it's at 1 cent per URL scraped. This is only for use cases, and we only recommend that this is for use cases where the traditional scraper is unable to get that information. So this, in 80 to 90% of the use cases, the advanced scraper won't be needed. But in those rare cases, we now have that as an additional option to add more information into your AI agent's knowledge base. And that will be inside the website tab here. Now, because this is a paid feature, there's also going to be the ability to add this as an upsell to your clients. So this will be added also to the SaaS configurator. And again, just like everything else, this will be an additional add-on extra where it's totally up to you of what you want to charge for this advanced scraper. And again, this is only recommended to be used for websites that are unable to be scraped by the normal scraper, like so. So we got some other updates coming for this down the pipeline shortly, like the ability to add in multiple URLs at once, and it will be able to scrape all of those URLs. We're also going to be adding in some filtering as well, which will allow you to sort by character count or date scraped by alphabetical, things like that. So just more continuous updates to help improve the usage and the ability of the knowledge base here. Alrighty, so those are the main updates that are going to be coming out later today. And next up, we're going to go over the AI agency SaaS mind map. So this is a mind map that I built based off of how our own funnel works. And we get, I mean, probably the question that we get most often is, how do I price my AI agents? How do I sell these AI chatbots to different businesses? Like, how do I actually make money from this? And when you look at something like this, it might seem kind of super complicated or whatever. But this flow is fully automated. It doesn't require you to always book a meeting or do a sales call with someone, because it's a software platform. It's a fully self-serve funnel. And this is how we've truly been able to scale our own business. And because everything is white labeled, this is exactly what you guys will be able to do for your own agencies, is essentially copy this entire flow and pick and choose what works and what doesn't work for you and your agency. And to get started, and what I mean by that basically is how you're going to originally or attract clients organically, because there's a couple different ways here, and this will be an available mind map, interactive mind map that you guys can download when I upload this to YouTube. There will be a link to this, so that way you guys can check it out. And yeah, actually, I might actually have that available. Well, yeah, I'll get that over to you guys shortly. So we're going to start over here on the left-hand side. And when you're first getting started with trying to put yourself out there or start your agency, it can be super overwhelming to try to figure out, oh, I need to start posting on all these channels. I need to do so much. This is the recipe for burning out and disaster. And this is something that I've experienced myself with my own Instagram and my own social media accounts, where I have quite, I have an audience, but even then it's still difficult to maintain and keep up with it. So what I've started to do is I try to focus on one platform, one offer. It simplifies everything. And I then use software to repurpose this content to all of the other platforms. So I use this platform called Repurpose.io. And what this allows me to do is film on TikTok, and then it automatically reposts it to all of these different channels automatically for me. So I don't necessarily need to focus and spend a bunch of time managing all of these different accounts. The benefit of automatically posting them to all these different channels is we get that exposure with, and that brings us into the next part of this funnel. So if you guys, some of you that have been around for quite a while, you might remember the social funnel, which is basically this part here. And I can show you an example of this. So anytime I post a piece of content, I'm going to try to get people to opt in or take some level of action beyond just watching this video to see if they might be interested in something that I have to offer. And in this case, one of those free offers could be the last ChatGPT prompt you'll ever need. This is one of my best free value opt-ins that I've ever run. I've got almost 8,000 people that have opted in for this resource. And so what happens is I'll make a video that looks something like this. And I say, here are some AI tools that are useful. And you can see all the people that are commenting GPT's guide, all these different times. So I'm using automation here to automatically send them to this free value opt-in from my video. And I can do that with things like ManyChat. I can do it with GHL. I can do that with a bunch of different platforms. And that's a very simple automation. And There will be links as well in this that will show you the full social funnel video and tutorial. The whole goal of this is to get someone to opt in for something that's semi-related to what the problem of your typical client is going to have. So if you're selling AI agents to real estate agents, for example, one of the issues that they might have is, how do I find value of this AI agent for my business, for my real estate business? Well, you could provide a guide that here are the top 5 ways that you can benefit as a real estate agent from using an AI agent. And that could be a simple blog post. It could be literally anything. The reason why mine is this last ChatGPT prompt is because I'm expecting that people that are interested in learning how to prompt might also be interested to learn how to start their own AI agency. And so that's that kind of like loose connection between what I'm creating as content and what I'm trying to get people to opt in for and sell to. So we have the organic piece of content here that's going to be repurposed to all of the different platforms. And we can also take this organic step one step further by taking the video transcript, pushing that through something like Claude, and then have it write a blog post. I don't recommend copying and pasting blog posts directly from Claude. I would recommend doing a little bit of editing yourself to make it more human. Because as everyone here probably knows, it will add in an unnecessary amount of adjectives and things that just make it very obvious for Google to know that this was AI generated. So, and most of the other repurpose platforms that I've tried, even Grammarly now is not that good in my opinion. Like I don't know. I think they did some stuff to that as well. So what I typically do is I'll have it write different sections, and then I'll piece together those sections into my blog post. And yeah, so blog post there. So again, organic content. Organic content is pushing people to a free opt-in. And that free opt-in can be a form on your website where you're just collecting their name and email, or it could be on something like Gumroad, which allows me to create all these different opt-ins, and people can name a fair price. And that's one of the benefits of using Gumroad, is people might be willing to donate some money for things like this, which is kind of crazy. But the idea here is you're getting people to opt in with some piece of information, ideally their email and their name. So if we follow this here, there's going to be a few things that we can do after they opt in and we capture their email and potentially even their phone number. First, we're going to add them to our email newsletter. One of the most important things that you can do when you're getting started with this entire thing is focusing on building your email list in any way humanly possible. So I know some of the folks here are big on LinkedIn. That's one of those channels here. If you're finding success on one of those channels, go and double down on that channel, because trying to get the same level of exposure on one of these others, might be not a time waste, but it'll lead to burning out quicker. So if you start to see success on one platform, just continue to go all in on that platform. That being said, the email newsletter is one of the most important things that is part of your business. Any business really is growing this list, because it is a free way to re-engage people that are interested in something that you have to offer. So like the common saying is, somebody needs to be exposed 3 to 5 times to your business before they're willing to or comfortable to make a purchase. Same thing kind of goes here. We're trying to just provide value upfront as much as possible. So that way, when people are engaged, and that could be with an email that comes maybe a week or 2 down the line, they'd be willing to then continue down the funnel and take more actions as they see fit. This very much mimics the Gary Vee strategy of jab, 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 right hook or whatever, where you're just continuously providing that free value up front and then eventually asking for the sale. And the cool part about running a SaaS or a white label SaaS with Stammer is you can create a free trial funnel that allows people to fully test everything out themselves without you having to gatekeep that access. So, and before I get ahead of myself here, let's continue from the free value opt-in. So we're going to capture their information. I would typically update our pipeline. In this case, we're going to be updating from GHL. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be adding an email nurture sequence that will tell them, hey, if you haven't already, go check out this information on this other landing page here. The other cool thing that we've started to do is doing SMS follow-up with AI. So inside of our CRM, we have a connection with Stammer that will send them either a text message or a WhatsApp message using the information that we've trained this bot on specifically for this step. So it's helping answer questions that users have about this resource potentially, or about what they could expect if they move forward to the next step here. This is a relatively simple bot and all things considered, because it's not trying to capture information or schedule meetings. It's just answering questions that people might have and getting them to continue down this funnel. Getting them to the next step in the funnel is going to be a VSL landing page, a video sales letter landing page. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this, but this is one of the ways that we've found to be most successful in order to get people to start a free trial as quickly as possible. And so on this landing page, you're going to have a 3 to 6 to 9 minute video. I recommend the shorter, the better. That's going to specifically focus on the benefits and not the features of what people can expect. And I have a lot of trouble with this. So this is something that I'm continuously working on myself, but think of what the problems are that your customer niche has and what these things can do and what life will be like after they purchase this from you. And so for us, with Stammer, it's a lot of telling agencies, hey, that those 12 platforms that you had to hack together, or all the code that you had to write or struggle with in order to get a dashboard or build these AI agents for customers, like all that goes out the window, because we made an all-in-one platform that allows you to do all that super simply and get started selling, rather than focusing on just building constantly. And the same thing can be said for any of your clients. Hey, if you have all of these support tickets, these AI agents will be able to reduce that, so that way your costs go down, which means you have more time to spend with your family, things like that. We're trying to sell the destination, not the plane ride. Testimonials and reviews from your other clients are really good. And if you're not able to get any testimonials or reviews from initial clients, try to offer working with them for free to start. If you're just getting started, one of the things that I used to do was DM people and be like, hey, can I build out a back when I was running my website development agency, hey, can I build out one of these landing pages or websites for you for free in exchange for a testimonial? And then people would say, oh yeah, sure. And then I would get a testimonial, and then I use that to land new clients. Same thing can be said here. You can add in or tell a business, hey, I'll make this AI agent for you for free. It's free for the first month. Please give me a review, and then move on from there. The goal of this landing page is to get people to be comfortable enough moving to this next step, which is starting a free trial. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this, but we highly recommend that you go with the version of starting a credit card free trial, because this will allow you to capture and only engage with your customers who are relatively serious. You have the option to allow people to create a free account without a credit card. And all of this can be done with inside your white label SaaS configurator inside Stammer AI. Having the credit card step here is one of the best ways to filter out people that may or may not be so serious. So that way you are really only focusing and spending time on people that are serious, for lack of better words. Yeah. So collecting the credit card information is great, because then you know that, hey, this person actually is going to be interested in starting and working with the platform. After they start a trial, we're always going to update the pipeline, and we're going to add them to a new email nurture sequence, which will say, hey, here's how you do X, Y, and Z. and focus more about the benefits again in relation to their corresponding features. So, oh, it's so easy to build an AI agent. Here's how you do it. The similar to the step previous, we'll have an AI agent that's going to help the onboarding process. And this one's going to be directly inside the dashboard. And for everyone that's on the white label version of Stammer, you can create an AI agent and put that inside your dashboard natively with one of the settings. And that's simply called the internal agent. And I'll just show you where that is. This internal AI support bot. So if you click enable, this will be the bot that shows up to your clients in the bottom right-hand corner when they log into their sub account under your agency. And so that can be specifically helping them answer initial questions, whatever it may be. Because they've signed up with a credit card free trial, we now have additional information like their phone number, where we can now set up a notification to send them a phone call and again, do another follow-up sequence with a Stammer AI agent. In this case, we're trying to get them to set up an onboarding meeting. An onboarding meeting is not required by any means, but it's one of the best ways to reduce churn. As an agency, one of the most important things that you can do to your customers is show that you are responsive. Like you will literally just respond to them, their emails, their text messages, whatever it may be. If you are able to provide a good customer support to your clients, they will stay around. Like simple as that. The value is inherently within the white label product. So you don't necessarily need to focus so much on the building side because everything is built for you and all you have to do is white label it. It's more about focusing on the selling and the support side. And I always bring it back to when we look at the word SaaS, the second S in SaaS is service, software as a service. And so that really comes into play about how much service you actually want to provide for your clients. And so this is why we heavily recommend trying to schedule some sort of onboarding meeting with your clients, because not only will they know that you're a real person and like a real agency and a real software platform, but it's also a way for you to upsell them to a higher tier plan, additional custom function build outs, or other services that your agency might offer, like ads, websites, whatever it may be. So highly recommend doing this step because it will reduce your churn and increase your LTV of your clients. That being said, once the free trial ends after the X amount of days that you set, and in our case, we like setting it to 14 days because that seems to be a good amount of time for people to experience the full functionality of the platform and see the value of everything that is provided. There's only essentially 3 things that can happen. They can cancel their trial, their credit card payment fails, which means it is canceled and they're not able to access it until they fix their credit card payment and they become a paid subscriber. So all of these different actions can have different follow-up sequences, but the most important one being this credit card failed payment. A lot of times people will put in not a fake credit card, but it might be one that has like a zero balance or something like that. This is another good way to try to get in front of people with all the versions of following up, email, text message, and phone call. And you can essentially recover a portion of these people that have canceled or failed in the past. And then for those that have succeeded and for those that haven't, we can do specific email follow-up specifically within our email newsletter, which goes back to one of the steps in the organic piece of this funnel, where we're trying to re-engage people as much as possible. And this, again, not only reduces churn, but also helps keep new subscribers and old subscribers updated on all the new features, new tutorials, new benefits. Basically everything that we are relaying to you as agencies, you can then relay that to your clients in whatever fashion you see fit. Some honorable mentions before I finish up here, and we'll go into Q&A. I know I went a little bit over, but I think this was a good tutorial, is when it comes to paid ads. Now, a lot of people like to skip this step entirely for organic content and just go right to paid ads. And then we'll be like, complaining that their paid ads aren't working or that they spent a bunch of money and they got no leads. The bigger benefit of spending the time to do organic content is to figure out what content actually works and what doesn't work. I know exactly what content works and what doesn't work based on the amount of opt-ins that I'm getting for these free trials, or not free trials, these free opt-ins. And this is because followers don't matter, views don't really matter. The stats that you see on social media don't necessarily matter in the grand scheme of things when it comes to those vanity metrics, because the more important thing is what are people actually opting in for. So I know that I can make content kind of about anything related to AI and it will get a decent amount of views or shares, whatever it may be. But there's always going to be somebody who opts in to something like this. Because I have this information from testing from all this organic content, I know that if I run an ad for this free value offer, that will get a lot of people to opt in because it already has gotten a lot of people to opt in completely organically. So this is where we can start to use the winning content for organic, and we can turn those best pieces of performing content into paid ads. And this is where paid ads really start to become super beneficial, is because you have a little bit of data backing what you're trying to pay for, and not just letting Book and Meta decide everything for you with their algorithm, because that could easily spend hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars without the right conversion metrics. So that was a lot of talking. For everyone who joined during all of that, there will be a link to this mind map. And actually, let me just get that. And we're going to go into general Q&A. So if anybody has questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, or just start talking, and we can go through that as I get this link for you.
Ross, one question we did have in the chat is this board available? Are you sharing the link to it?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now.
Ross, good morning.
Howdy.
We're just about to move up to your next tier product because we've used all of the 20 agents that we have. We're having a great deal of success pairing the agents with video. So we use AI video promotionals, and we chase clients that anyone that has a website, in our opinion, needs a video on the front of it. And if they've got a video saying, hi, you're at Tony's Tires, and we're explaining the offer, the very next thing they want to do is talk to someone. So the obvious thing is an agent in the corner. And in nearly all cases, when we sell an agent, we're selling a video, and vice versa. So in terms of a sales tool, I'd be saying that we've had so much success at this. I mean, you can, on our account, we've only been with you a few weeks, really, and we've already got to move to the next tier, and
Awesome.
we may have to have multiple accounts. So it just seems to work very well. We're not having any trouble getting sales. We're having more trouble producing the product.
Gotcha. Well, that's great to hear.
Good for your bank account and good for ours, actually. But just the process of getting a sale, trying to push the agent by itself was not difficult, but the real turning point was to give a dual sale. If we're talking to a prospect and they were a little bit reluctant to go on, well, we've heard of these chatbots, they're not much good, because most people have seen old chatbots, old school stuff, and it's pretty under compelling. We say, well, look, why don't you pair it with actual life? The first thing you do when you walk into a business is you start, they say, hello, how can I help you? And they pitch their over-the-counter product. Well, that's what an online video does. But once the video is finished, once that salesperson is finished throwing all their stuff at you, you start asking questions. So the obvious thing is to turn the chatbot on. And we've found that pairing really, really useful. In fact, we probably sell one video to one chatbot in most countries.
Is that a service or a service offering that you had prior to you?
No, we started them together. In fact, we saw your product. This is a new business. We develop other bits of software. So as soon as we saw your product, we found there's so many AI video products out there. We just picked the one that we like, and now we have a program and a bunch of sales guys on the phones, and all we do is pitch them together.
Oh,
We
nice.
always push them together. If we're pitching one, they get the other. And we, as I say, probably 90% of our sales are dual sales, where
Got it.
and they're all SaaS. So we'll charge them an upfront fee for building the chatbot and building the video, and then we charge them a small fee for hosting the video, which is the same as your sort of hosting fee, and we charge them a fee for hosting monthly. So they might pay 800 a month for both products, or
Nice.
600 for one.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. That's
Thanks.
great. Yeah, one of the things that we used to say kind of quite often was the agencies who were succeeding the best with our platform were existing agencies that had an additional offer that they could pair with the AI chatbots. And that's where I originally started, was as a website development agency. We had those clients kind of asking for the same thing. And we're like, okay, well, we can now give you the website and that can interact with your users on pretty much any level. But that's cool that they're using the AI videos with it too. Let's see, Hamza has a question. Is it possible to set up a one-time payment using the SaaS configurator? Not yet, like Tim said, but that is definitely something that we've been working on. It's on our roadmap. Follow up. So it won't make changes in the SaaS configurator. For example, if there's a custom build in the chatbot, we would have to make a separate charge inside Stripe. Yes, correct. So in that case, if you want to do a one-off payment, you can create a normal Stripe link in Stripe, send that over, and then send over the link that Stammer generates for you for their AI subscription. And that way there will be the single one-time payment with the subscription after. Agnes says, I made a mistake with the platform and payment as a result. I lost access to the sub accounts and chatbots. Agnes, if you could please send us your email that you use to sign up with Stammer, and the team will look into that right away for you.
And yes, Alan, have you opened a ticket for this? We can look into it right away.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've had no problems with the site. Only this morning happens to be coincidental. So thanks for being here. And sorry to bang you with this while we're in this forum.
No
Just
worries.
holding
No,
us up.
this is exactly what this is for. And just really quickly, when you say page loading issue, I assume you mean it's our platform that's not loading on your domain. Is that right?
No, I'm on the platform and I'm producing an agent as usual. So we go to the first page.
Ah,
And then at the bottom of the page where we want to create the agent, I just get a page won't load error, and no
oh,
other error,
weird.
just page won't load. So there's nothing else wrong with the site.
Got it. So please open a ticket. I handle all first line tickets now. It's a change we've made that's been really amazing, actually, but we won't get into that. But open the ticket. I'll take a look. And if you can please copy the support info, it's kind of what we call it. That helps as well. You go to the three dots on the bot,
Okay.
and right click, and then you can copy the support info. So I know exactly what agent you're having problems with.
Right.
Yep.
I've opened the ticket. I'll go back and I'll update the ticket.
Great.
Yeah, and
Thanks.
that's actually a good thing to mention. So if anybody ever has an issue, and I believe we're going to update our support
We
tickets
are.
to do this. If you click these little three dots and then it says copy support info, if you click that little button, it's essentially going to paste in this info, which will allow us to log into your account, figure out exactly which AI agent and everything and all the settings. So that way we can help debug as quickly as possible. Okay. Agnes, so you're going to email Tim? That'll work? Okay. Perfect. Cool.
Yes, I will email. Yes, I will do.
Okay.
Because I have
Great.
a lot of mistakes with this, and it's not like working anything properly.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll get that fixed for you very, very quickly.
Drew is amazing. Yeah, he does do an amazing job.
Yeah. Hamza says, shameless name drop, Team Stammer and Drew is amazing. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, love to hear it. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Tim, you're on mute. Tim, you're on mute.
I clicked the wrong button. Hi,
All good.
guys.
Hey.
So we've now implemented the new payment structure for the bots, and then when people start using additional credits, we're finding that a couple of clients are needing to sort of auto update their credits and the characters that they have in the system. I've dropped you a support ticket, Tim. The issue the client's having is nothing wrong with the platform. They're happy that all of that works really well. They're just trying to access the invoice, and because the link for subscription is different to the link for the add-ons. It's not showing in that flow of previous invoices that have been paid on that Stripe window. So the request is, maybe can we combine them, or maybe can we just have a link that shows that separate payment link for the Stripe window? So now, Ross, if you go into subscriptions and you go to one of the plans, at the bottom of that plan it says view invoices and billing. That will bring up a Stripe page, but we don't have that facility for the add-ons.
Oh, for the add-ons. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the add-on.
Yeah.
So it definitely works, which is good, and
Okay.
they're spending more money in the platform, which is great. It's just that they just need something for their accounts to to reconcile. Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a note of that. Paul says, demoed for a friend today. Even I was amazed on how good the AI responded. I only trained it on 4 web pages. It seemed to know far more than I thought it would. Friend now talking to the owner of the company he works for, so hoping for first client. Awesome. That's great to hear. Doing the demo and getting people to have their AI aha moment is like, that's the barrier. If you can get them to have that oh my gosh moment, they're sold. And if you pair it with something like Alan was saying, an additional piece of value, then it becomes quickly the what is it, Hormozy
unbeatable offer. What is it called?
Offer you can't refuse or whatever. Yeah, his whole thing. Yeah, cool. All righty. Yeah, so I'll make a note of that, Tim, and then we'll get those items updated, and Agnes will get your account sorted quickly. And yeah, last offer for any questions or anything as we wrap up here. If not, I will have this video uploaded later today to YouTube with all of the links and everything. But yeah, I think that'll do it for today. Thanks everyone for joining, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Thank you.
There we go. Alan says, we are too busy closing sales to ask more questions. Love it. We'll end it on that. All right. Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care.